You mentioned something about President's Cup before.
President's Cup.
Talk to me. What are your mixed feelings?
What's the point of the President's Cup, Tom?
It's a good golf tournament, isn't it, really?
What, to watch the Americans win every time?
Okay, the result's a bit biased. It'd be harsh to say
13-1-1, I think it was.
Yeah, you're correct. You're right on that. It would be... I think it would be harsh to say what's the point.
Well, it does seem like that.
The point is competition, isn't it? It's good competition.
Is it competition?
Good competition.
Well, that's like saying, okay, I'm going to go and, I don't know.
What's the point in Liverpool playing United for the last 4 years?
Well, have you won the last 13 games? No.
But there's a... What's the point in a football team just sitting bottom half of the table all the time?
Yeah, but they're winning some of them, aren't they?
They win the odd game.
Yeah, 50% maybe. They're not getting 13-1-1.
Nah, go on. Well, I think what's the point is a bit of a harsh way of saying it. I think the result is definitely sitting on the... the result's obviously on the bias side for the USA. But how will things ever change? How will the rest of the world ever be able to compete if you say, right, you're not allowed to play this competition until you're good enough? Is that what we're saying?
Well, I think the format would need to change, because I say, like, what's the point of it, right? Do the Americans use it as like a base for Ryder Cup, like breeding grounds? Not really.
No.
They opt for a different format. They don't take, like, Keegan Bradley's playing, you could, like, this week, last week, you could argue that was, a good reconnaissance mission. Surely you would have been the vice captain more, because you were going to be the captain, so you'll understand how a captain works and get, like, the whole agenda setting process, the whole team picking process, the whole, running order of the day, how we create morale, instead of, right, I'm going to be playing.
Yeah, I think considering one of the criticisms of the USA team for countless years now has been the way
Gary Player
together.
was the captain as well. 1, 2, 3 years in a row. We found the problem.
Yeah, I think the criticism of the USA team in the Ryder Cup has been their sort of how the team bond, isn't it? How they play together. They all seem to be individuals. That seems to be a criticism. You would think the fact that they do have one extra tournament in the same format, they use it as a trial run, but they don't seem to go, like you say there, they don't seem to maybe learn from it. But would you have said it felt? Did you see much of it? Would you have said it felt like a pointless tournament? You definitely couldn't argue it was pointless for the people participating in it, because they were absolutely pumped for it.
They were pumped. Yeah.
The big shame was the 5-0 on day 2, was it? Kind of didn't quite put it to bed, but if that didn't happen, then it would have been a bit more interesting. But when USA go and clear a session 5-0 and go a good chunk ahead, you need a miracle in Medina to happen to bring it back.
And that's only happened twice.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the results here. International team. When did was it?
International team won in 98.
Was it 98?
98, Royal Melbourne Golf Club.
Ah, yes.
And they won 20.5, 11.5.
Right.
Battering. Must have been jet lag for the Americans.
Interesting. I just don't...
And it was tied. It was tied in 2003.
Yeah, it just feels pointless to me. Like, I wasn't pumped up about it. It wasn't... Like, I'd rather... Like, does a mixed event solved it? Like, would we see... Because obviously Solheim Cup's great, Curtis Cup's great. Or would we be better seeing, like, a Pro-Am thing? Because we don't have any... Well, we used to have the Seve Trophy, didn't we, where it was Continental Europe versus Great Britain and Ireland.
So are you talking pointless here as a golf fan, or a fan of maybe Europe and the Ryder Cup? And the only reason it's pointless is in the same way as I would say Major League Baseball's pointless. Because personally, to me, it is. And there'd be thousands of people would say, well, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Well, the New York Yankees... Okay. Do they win it every season?
I might know.
Do they win it every season?
I don't know.
No.
Don't think so.
Does the international team lose 98% of the time?
Careful how you respond to this one, Matt. Is the Scottish Premier League pointless?
No.
So how many times have Celtic won it in a row? Rangers jumped in.
Yeah, Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen are leading at the minute.
But historically, you could have got to a point 10 years in a row and gone...
They didn't win it 10 years in a row, though.
What were their results? You could say, waste of time, this. Celtic are always winning it.
Yeah,
scrap
but
the thing.
that's also like not a 2-horse race, is it? So there's lots of other entities in that. So we've got 2 teams here. It will basically, like, what other sports? It'd be like, well, I'll give you a good example. What happened to the GB&I team when they were losing the Ryder Cup every time?
Yeah, I suppose you could say it's a pointless
What
competition.
happened, Tom?
Changed to Europe. We needed some help.
Exactly, we needed some help. How far are we going down the line to before we need to see these boys need some help?
Need some help. Who's going and playing in their place, though? Bringing Europe in?
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I say, like, is it a little bit... Well, we can't bring Europe in because then it's just
Exactly.
like the superheroes unite and we just batter the US every time.
Yeah.
But I just don't get it. Like, I sort of turned on and I watched about 15 minutes and I was like, oh yeah, like there's a gate, and I was thinking, could this turn? And I went, don't be stupid.
But is there more to that event? Is there more to the President's Cup than there is to the Wells Fargo Championship?
Yeah, because it's one person who wins that out of 150, Tom.
But it doesn't mean there's no. It doesn't mean there's no event. It doesn't mean there's no.
Yeah, but
There's no
multiple
reason
people,
for
like, it'd be like, say, like, so the only thing that we could relate it to with multiple field thing, I would say, in golf, Tiger's dominance. Tiger turns up and you go, is he going to win? Like, he's got to beat all these people again. Oh my God, he did it again. Amazing.
Yeah.
Not quite the same when you've got a team event. When you go, did they win last year? Yeah. Did they win the year before? Yeah. Did they win the... Yeah. We've got to go back to 1998, you say.
Yeah.
You were about 6.
I was 5.
5, there we go. So when you were 5 years old, that was the last time the international team won.
Yeah.
And there was a nice half.
What's been the closest? What they probably haven't been close results either, have they? Let's see.
No, 18 and 11,
18.5,
17, 12, 16, 4, 19, 11, 2015. Jay has tried
2019 close.
kicking the pooch. 2019.
16-14.
Yeah.
Royal Melbourne again.
Yeah. It's just...
US captain was Tiger, and that got close. International captain was Ernie Els.
It just doesn't... I just don't know any more about it.
I think, like I say, I think pointless is a sort of fair assumption.
It's a fair... Yeah, okay, thank you. I'm glad we agree.
Pointless-
Moving on. Overrated, underrated.
Pointless is a bit harsh because I don't think pointless any competition where you can get people to compete on a different type of stage. You've got all of those international players.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say this is pointless. If you take them as individuals, you will have individual players there who've maybe gone and got a spark from taking a point off Scotty Scheffler, half a point off Scotty Scheffler. But
Do you think the Americans care about it?
they seem to. They seem to care a lot more the way they act.
Yeah.
But then that's, like I say, they've got a decent chance of winning
Most
every time.
appearances. Phil Mickelson.
So yeah, I think they care. You can't watch any of that coverage from the weekend and say they don't care.
No.
And I don't think you can watch any of the fans and say that they don't care. And when we see at some point the international team win it again, go and tell me that that's pointless. Go and tell me that that will be pointless, because they'll say that means even more the fact that it was 30 years ago we won it last time and we've broken the mould.
Yeah.
So you're talking about competition, and you can't call it competition where take it as individual people.
Yeah.
Say, go and tell all of them that is a pointless competition. Wasting your time there, mate.
Yeah.
Get back to the PGA Tour.
Get back to the PGA Tour, lad. It's just, I don't know what happens with it. I do think, and I think the big thing with it is that the international team, obviously, like when you go down to South Africa, when you're going down to Australia, there's just not enough golf played down that way anyway, like on a big stage. So when it's over there, brilliant.
Yeah. It gives it another platform.
They should just host it over there. There we go, we've solved it.
Ultimately, maybe, yeah. Ultimately, like you say, there's got to be a few more international players from that side of the world coming through.
Yeah.
And maybe the President's Cup being played over there does spark that interest from the juniors who are over there. They get taken to a President's Cup. If you go and find a junior who's over in, when they play, I don't know, Royal Melbourne, they get to go to their first golf tournament with a big buzz, and that sparks them to play golf.
Yeah.
And then they turn into a tour pro. It's done its job.
Yeah, I agree with
pointless.
that. Yeah. Hashtag growing the game.
I've won the argument.
Maybe not so. I think something needs to be done by the format. It annoys me when I turn it on and go, well, I know the result.
Yeah. feel like another result.
Well,
it's the best win ever if it's not.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if I would have been waiting for that.
Do you like rooting against the USA?
I mean, I'd like to see them lose more in the President's Cup, yeah. But yeah, it's just an interesting one. I think something needs to be done. About it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, anyway.
Something needs to change, but it's not pointless.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's. I'll take that back then. It's not pointless, but it needs changing.